For the Fashola administration in Lagos State, the education of its teeming youths is of great importance. This is because the governor and his team believes in the popular saying, education is the best legacy. Consequently, the state government, through its Ministry of Education, headed by a woman with a great foresight, the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Olayinka Olatunjoyi, has consistently introduced and executed several policies aimed at improving the standard of education, and today the great achievements are visible for all to see. One of such laudable policies is the introduction of quality assurance. With its introduction, there has indeed been a great improvement in the area of school inspection from what was obtained in the past. To further ensure that the Ministry of Education taps into all the benefits associated with the quality assurance policy, the Lagos State government recently created the Office of Education Quality Assurance. This office is headed by the new Director General, Mrs. Educ, an educationist par excellence who has headed notable schools in the United Kingdom and was also one of the few advanced skills teachers in the UK. Little wonder she is so passionate about attaining a high standard in education. Apart from being an experienced educationist who has touched the lives of the younger generation positively, Mrs. Shoyombo is also a qualified lawyer. No doubt, the newly appointed Director General of the Office of Education Quality Assurance is ready to bring to bear her international exposure and experience in the development of education in Lagos State. In her presentation, Mrs. Aderonke Shoyombo gave kudos to the Ministry of Education for impacting the lives of the students with the aim of giving the best education despite the numerous challenges.
When I saw what everybody has been doing in schools, I have to tell you, I am very, very impressed. Because out of the fact that you haven't got resources, you haven't got a lot of things to actually support you, but with the little you have, you're still impacting into nations. Education is something that God loves. Because we're impacting onto the generation that God has created.
She further spoke on the purpose of school inspection with emphasis on the need for all schools to evaluate themselves.
Ideally, what I'm saying here is every school should understand how to evaluate themselves. Every school should understand what we use to evaluate them. Every school should be able to access our instruments, say, yes, we can do it. They should be able to evaluate themselves maybe every quarter. And so where are we? What is it that we're doing right? What is it that we're not doing right? Because when we say school, what's the main thing that children are going to do? Learn. To learn! Thank you, ma'am. The whole thing they go to school to do is to learn. And sometimes you can get to schools as quality assurance member, you can get to a school where there's a lot of activities going on, but there might not be any learning going on. It's high time that we all rise to the occasion and say, no, we're getting our schools back. We are getting teaching and learning back. We are moving away from just quality assurance inspectors just going into schools and saying, this school, you look dilapidated. Look, there's no window there, there's not. That is not the core thing that we're looking for. What are we looking for? I'm looking for teaching and learning going on in classes.
The project director, Lagos Schools Online, Mr. Durotimi Adeboye, gave a detailed information on the activities of the Lagos Schools Online while stating that the Lagos Schools Online is ready to do more.
What we have done so far is to build a portal that has substantial information about all the schools and is well utilized by the schools. We have also gone on to develop for them an email system that is located on this server, and because this Office of Quality Assurance is quasi-autonomous, so now that we'll be working together in a single unit, I'm sure we will do more.
The Commissioner for Education in Lagos State, Mrs. Olayinka Olatunjoyi, was also present at the program, charged the participants to support the new Director General in order to achieve the best results in the area of quality assurance.
The need for us to have a very strong quality assurance office cannot be overemphasized. And that's why I said I congratulate you, because you are going to be part of the revolution, part of the movement that will take quality assurance and indeed education to the next level in Lagos State. I want to thank the directors and those of you who have joined them to ensure that we are where we are today. You have done marvelously well. So I want to say to you that we now have a new Director General, somebody who is very rich in experience. You should give her your maximum support and cooperation. And they tell you that there is nothing that is a big deal about what is happening. It's just that we want to do it better. And how can we do it better? She cannot do it better alone. All of you would need to join her in doing the better that we're craving for.
The participants at the forum were divided into discussion groups where they discussed quality assurance evaluation in the United Kingdom based on a video clip. A representative was then appointed from each group to give reports of the group's discussion.
In the clip, it was said that children who are very good, excellent children, should be given more challenging tasks to do. We will see that they gave those children individual attention, which we need also to invite here.
When we want to do follow through, we should center on the issues that is bothering the school so that we can move ahead. And also the report is short and precise. So we don't have to write cumbersome reports, so that anybody can easily see the report, go through it, and then learn from it, and then we go ahead.
The inspector made on-the-spot assessment of the child, the kind of evaluation at the time that the teacher stopped talking. Don't interrupt the teachers in the classes, but when they finish, we can call the children and find out and look through their text, their written work to find out what they have achieved.
Use of instructional materials that helps the different types of children. The gifted ones had different types of instructional materials, different from those who were not as gifted. That helped to bridge the gap between the two of them. So that way the whole class was carried along, no group was left behind.
Environment giving allow the students to, the learners, to have the ability of I can do it, I can get something new.
We should have a lot of knowledge up there that the school will definitely be convinced that they are gaining from. We also have the integrity in terms of hard work. When an inspector gets to a school, we must be seen doing the work.
The forum was also an interactive one with an opportunity for questions and answers.
I want to suggest among the things we are providing for the takeoff of the UAE, we should provide library in every zone.
Now, library in every zone. I have never seen any advice that is as great as that. Let's put our hands together for that. Thank you so much.
We took it upon ourselves to train all these people just coming in. And at the end of it, we discovered that the instrument, which is really what we use to work with, these officers don't have the instruments. They don't have the handbook.
You actually disseminated information to the new people, you trained them. And level 17 directors must be able to train everybody in their teams regularly. We're looking for where you can train people. If it's every fortnight, you train them. If it's every month, if it's weekly, but there must be good training going on. And we need to see records of that.
In an interview with Education Report on TV, the new Director General, Education Quality Assurance Office, Mrs. Runke Shuyombo, spoke on the plans she has in the pipeline for quality assurance.
The vision is for us to be the model of excellence, and we're actually going to be excellent state. And that's not going to be something that Quality Assurance Department will be doing on its own, but we're going to work collaboratively with a lot of teams. We're working with the Ministry of Education, and we are working with all our partners, all our stakeholders, and I mean our parents, I mean all our children, and also all the teachers. This is a time when we all need to come together and say, yes, we're going to become excellent, we're going to have excellent schools.
Some of the directors also shared their views with Education Report on TV.
Now we have an Office of Education Quality Assurance, which is as good as the former one that we wanted to have. And with this, we are now better positioned to move education forward in Lagos State.
I want to reassure everybody, especially stakeholders, that we have a better education in Lagos State, because the results of of the outcome of the quality assurance of each school will be given to schools and also be placed on the net. And we know for sure that schools, when they are aware that the results of their schools are going to be put on the net, everybody will know what kind of quality they have, they want to improve on it.
There is no gainsaying that the newly created Office of Education Quality Assurance, headed by the Director General, Mrs. Adirunke Shiyombo, a well-experienced educationist, is ready to redirect and reposition education, especially in the area of quality assurance in Lagos State, to meet international standards.